In the headlines for this hour on VTV News, Party General Secretary and State President chairs regular Politburo meeting. And Vietnam builds database for tax management of e-commerce activities. In a war news, Japan Prime Minister cancels Central Asia trip after earthquake risk warning.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm chaired a regular meeting of the Politburo on Friday in Hanoi to discuss and offer opinions on a number of important issues within the Politburo's authorities. More to follow.
General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm assessed that the Politburo and the Secretariat have closely adhered to the Party Central Committee's program, organizing numerous conferences in flexible formats, both in person and online, to effectively implement the resolution adopted at the 13th National Party Congress. The Party Central Committee's office, party committees, relevant agencies and organizations have coordinated well in carrying out activities. Additionally, the implementation of documents and conclusions from the Politburo and the Secretariat has yielded effective results. However, much work remains in the Politburo and Secretariat's work program between now and the end of the year. Issues related to the preparation for the 14th National Party Congress must be finalized by 2025, the year set for fulfilling the goals of the 13th National Party Congress. General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm requested that the Politburo focus on two groups of projects, those for submission to the Party Central Committee's conferences and those crucial for creating momentum in socio-economic development and improving people's lives. He emphasized the need to swiftly address difficulties faced by localities and businesses while ensuring socio-political stability. The Politburo must adopt decisive policies for emerging issues, guided by the motto, national and people's interests come first and foremost.
On Friday, Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm met with the Standing Committee of the Hanoi Party Committee to discuss the implementations of the resolution of the 13th National Party Congress, the resolution of the city's 17th Party Congress, and Directive 35 of the Politburo on party congresses at all levels leading up to the 14th National Party Congress. More to follow.
At the meeting, Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm affirmed that Hanoi is the national political and administrative center in the very heart of the whole country. The city is a major center of economy, culture, education and training, science and technology, and international integration. Its contributions to national socio-economic development are crucial in ensuring political stability, protecting national security, and building diplomatic relations. Looking ahead, the top leader suggested that the city fully realize its potential for innovation, dynamism, and creativity. He encouraged Hanoi to be bold in thought and action and said that the capital must strive to become an exemplary city for the entire country in all aspects.
This year, the city's party congress will be held. I hope that comrades can evaluate the implementation of the resolutions. You guys should look straight at the facts and the results, achievements, shortcomings, and limitations. By doing so, the city can be ready for the Congress with positive development results. Furthermore, the city should do a good job of party building and rectification, making the entire political system truly effective and truly for the people. All party members should work with a high sense of responsibility toward the people and their neighborhoods.
The top leader also suggested that Hanoi needs to conduct research for a clear orientation on urban development, technical infrastructure, and traffic. Urban renovation and reconstruction should be associated with promoting the value of the historic inner city area. In the immediate future, priority will be given to reducing traffic congestion, responding to climate change, preventing urban flooding, and improving waste treatment. The city must also comprehensively enhance the quality of education, training, and healthcare.
Prime Minister Phie had just issued a directive on key tasks and solutions to accelerate the disbursement of public investment capital in the remainder of 2024. The goal is to meet over 95% of the planned disbursement rate and complete at least 3,000 kilometers of highways by the end of 2025 as part of the country's socio-economic development goals. Ministries, central agencies, and localities are instructed to expedite investment procedures, bidding, and land clearance to ensure the timely commencement of all allocated public investment projects. The directive also calls for strict adherence to disbursement schedules, enhanced supervisions, and prompt resolution of any obstacles related to land and resources. The Prime Minister stressed the need for transparencies in anti-corruption measures and the swift issuance of guidelines for the 2024 land law. Strict disciplinary actions are mandated against any delays caused by irresponsibility or intentional obstruction. During a visit to assess the impact of the recent floods in Mueang Cheng Commune, Mai Sơn District, and Ban Lam Commune, Thuận Châu District in Sơn La Province, Vice State President Võ Thị Ánh Xuân extended her heartfelt condolences to families who lost loved ones. She urged the province to continue focusing on the relocations of households in high-risk areas and provide ongoing support for the recovery of affected communities. Additionally, the Vice State President allocated $28,000 to aid in flood recovery efforts, with $8,000 specifically for children impacted by the disaster. She also presented 50 gifts to families who suffered significant losses. During his working visit to Malaysia, National Assembly Vice Chairman Nguyễn Khắc Định held talks with Deputy President of the Malaysian Senate, Speaker of the Malaysian House of Representatives, and Malaysian Deputy Prime Minister Fadila Yusof. During the meetings, the two sides acknowledged the success of recent cooperation between the two nations and their legislative bodies and agreed to work towards a cooperation agreement to further strengthen these ties. The Vietnamese National Assembly Vice Chairman proposed that both sides establish a favorable legal framework and improve oversight to ensure effective implementations of the agreements. He also welcomed Malaysia's approvals of the Malaysia-Vietnam Friendship Association and requested support for the Vietnamese community in Malaysia to help them contribute to the country's development. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to maintaining ASEAN's unified stance on the EC. At the inauguration ceremony for the renovations of Huỳnh Thúc Kháng Press School's National Historical Site in Thái Nguyên Province, National Assembly Vice Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Thanh affirmed that the establishment of the press school marked a special milestone in the history of revolutionary press in Vietnam. The project pays tribute to the contributions of the previous generations to the party revolutionary cause, celebrates the significant role of the Vietnamese revolutionary press, and foster pride in the professional missions of journalists. Prior to the event, Vice Chairwoman offered incense at the July 27 National Historical Site in Đại Từ District and presented gifts to 20 families with meritorious services and students in difficult circumstances. Today, August 10th, Nam Định Province officially announces the resolution of the National Assembly Standing Committee on the arrangement of district and commune level administrative units for the period 2023-2025. Starting September 1st, the province will merge 2 district-level administrative units and 77 communes, as the province has the largest number of merged administrative units in the country. Preparations for these mergers have been carefully carried out.
According to the resolution of the National Assembly Standing Committee, the entire area and population of this administrative unit will be merged into Nam Dinh city. 77 other communes and towns in the area will also be merged in this phase. The province has mobilized the entire political system to promote the resolution. The plan to merge the districts and communes has gained widespread support from the majority of residents and voters.
Nam Dinh City is actively preparing for this event of special significance, which involves the expansion of its administrative boundaries. The upcoming task is to quickly expand and create a breakthrough in the city's urban areas.
The province has over 1,100 redundant civil workers and non-professional workers at the commune level. A suitable plan for reassigning these officials has been developed. Options for a civil service headquarters have also been considered to prevent wastefulness.
We also do a good job of organizing civil workers as assigned. Most of them are young and wish to continue to work and contribute. The commune has met with part-time and redundant workers and found them generally mentally stable about their reassignment to new commune-level administrative units. They all agreed to the new arrangement.
The merger will create new opportunities for development. Local authorities now face the challenge of effectively leveraging this advantage.
We have next on VTV News. Vietnam builds database for tax management of e-commerce activities. Edutainment trends embraced in Vietnam. After more than a year of implementing the Prime Minister directive on promoting data connection and sharing of e-commerce development, preventing tax loss and ensuring monetary security, ministries and branches have built their own initial databases to connect and prevent budget losses. More to follow.
Mobile numbers, bank accounts, citizen identification cards, and tax codes are key pieces of information used by the tax authority to identify e-commerce sellers. Many sellers have proactively declared and paid taxes to avoid legal prosecution.
I see that all sales information on e-commerce platforms, including revenue and quantity, are sent to the tax department. I think paying taxes is necessary.
Using its established internal database, the tax authority shares collected data with other agencies to create a comprehensive database to identify all enterprises, organizations, and individuals conducting business on e-commerce platforms. To date, the Ministry of Industry and Trade has provided the Ministry of Finance with information on 929 e-commerce platforms and 284 websites. The Ministry of Information and Communications has shared data on 130 telecommunications, radio and television advertising units. Meanwhile, the General Department of Taxation is coordinating with the Ministry of Public Security to use citizen identification numbers as tax codes.
Thanks to the very good coordination between ministries and branches, as well as the efforts in tax management for e-commerce activities, organizations and individuals have been voluntarily declaring their taxes.
As the state management agency for e-commerce, the Ministry of Industry and Trade is finalizing the infrastructure for a shared database of enterprises, organizations, and individuals engaged in e-commerce.
Information about e-commerce businesses registered in the Ministry of Industry and Trade's database will be shared with the General Department of Taxation and local tax departments. This aims to closely monitor and manage these entities.
Through data sharing among relevant ministries and sectors, the tax sector now monitors over 8 billion e-commerce transactions, effectively preventing revenue loss in this field.
The Halal market is large in scale and growing rapidly, primarily concentrated in Asia and the Middle East, North Africa region. Vietnam has recently turned attention to this market However, due to a lack of human resources, the development of the Halal industry in Vietnam has not yet achieved significant positive results.
For nearly a decade, this company has operated in the tourism sector, specializing in serving Middle Eastern Muslim tourists. However, not many people meet these requirements, forcing the company to invest heavily in training.
Most of the people who speak Arabic received limited training in school and do not have practical communication skills when it comes to serving tourists. We need to train those people so that they can actually communicate with tourists and meet their needs.
It's hard because, as students, we learn the official Arabic at schools and colleges, while in reality, there are 22 countries and they speak 22 different dialects. That's one big barrier when we graduate and have to communicate with Arabic people.
To meet halal standards, this restaurant must hire Muslim staff. Vietnamese staff must also be able to communicate in Arabic and have a good understanding of Islamic culture in general.
If you receive one staff if you have job offer, we have to interview first the staff. If he can do this work like a halal food, like halal restaurant, because I said you that halal restaurant is not like a normal restaurant.
Working at a Muslim restaurant like this, first of all, you have to have full knowledge of their food standards, which means the halal standard. You also need certain knowledge about Middle Eastern dishes so that when there are different requests, you can meet the needs of customers.
Currently, Vietnam has only 2 formal Arabic language training institutions in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. In Hanoi alone, there have been only 11 training courses with a few hundred graduates.
The difficulty in teaching Arabic is that students lack resources and guidance about the potential of Arabic as well as the Arabic market. Therefore, we continuously make adjustments to the training program, adding a lot of information related to the halal market and Islam into the teaching process to provide them with the necessary information.
Finding workers who can speak Arabic is challenging, but finding those with experience and a deep understanding of Islamic culture is even more difficult. To effectively implement the project aimed at strengthening international cooperation and developing the halal industry in Vietnam by 2030, significant investment in human resource training for this sector is essential.
100 houses were officially handed over to poor households in Hiệp Đức District, Quang Nam Province on Friday, providing much-needed relief to those facing housing difficulties. These homes were built with a total support funds of over $525,000. Of this amount, over $278,000 was donated by local families and the community. With this effort, Hiệp Đức District is now focused on eliminating the remaining 13 temporary houses with the goal of having no temporary housing by mid next year. A prominent trend has emerged in recent years that integrates education with entertainment. Edutainment is widely used in education, movies, theater, music, television, online shows, and video games. Its aim is to enhance culture, sport, and aesthetic values for the public. More to follow.
The Ho Chi Minh City River Festival 2024 featured a musical performance called Legendary Voyage. Using modern technologies like 3D mapping and drone shows, the performance created cinematic effects that brought the historical narrative to life.
Nay, đàn áp cách mạng Trung Quốc, bay, chúng sẽ đàn áp tới ta.
This awe-inspiring and unforgettable experience conveyed educational messages through the nation's heroic history.
I'm always looking for ways to reach young people. That's why I chose the form of musical for the Legendary Voyage.
Edutainment can take many forms: an art performance blending cultural, historical, and linguistic education, a movie addressing sex education, or a TV show presenting scientific knowledge. By combining education and entertainment, learning becomes easier and more engaging.
Edutainment is a very popular global trend. Tourists seek not only entertainment but also knowledge about the destination's characteristics, country, and people.
Over the years, Vietnam television has pioneered the edutainment trend in the country. Its programs blend entertainment with education, offering valuable experiences to viewers. These educational shows are presented in a lively, creative, and engaging manner. As a result, many programs have made a lasting impact on television audiences.
Here we've had many meetings about how to shape edutainment programs to attract young people. Education and entertainment are very important aspects of life. If we follow the dogmatic teaching style, people will not watch our shows.
To further the development of the edutainment trend, close collaboration among science and education experts, technology developers, and content creators is essential. This cooperation will enable the seamless integration of knowledge, skills, and life experiences with cultural, artistic, and entertainment elements.
Don't Cry Butterfly, the debut feature by young director Dương Diệu Linh, will be screened at the 2024 Venice Film Festival. Set in Hanoi, the film follows a middle-aged woman who turns to black magic after discovering her husband's affairs, inadvertently awakening mysterious supernatural forces in her home. This is the third consecutive director from the CJ short film project to make an impact with their first feature film. Coming up next in One News, Japan's Prime Minister cancels Central Asia trip after earthquake risk warning. And fungi in German lake feed on plastic. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida canceled plans to visit Central Asia on Friday and spearhead precautionary measures instead, following an unprecedented warning that the risk of a major Pacific Coast earthquake was higher than usual. The Japan Meteorological Agency issued on Thursday its first ever warning of the risk of a huge earthquake on the country's Pacific coast, following one of magnitude 7.1 that struck the southwestern islands of Kyushu the same day. Japan is reminding people living in earthquake zones to take general precautions from securing furniture to knowing the locations of their nearest evacuation shelter. The Meteorological Agency's advisory warned that if a major earthquake were to occur in the future, strong shaking and large tsunamis would be generated. European security officials have warned of a growing risk of terrorism across the continent after a foiled Taylor Swift concert attack plot in Austria. At least 3 suspects have been arrested, the main suspect being a 19-year-old Austrian of North Macedonian root who is a supporter of the self-proclaimed Islamic State IS. The Public Security Director of Austria Ministry of Interior said chemicals and bomb-making equipment were found at the 19-year-old home in the town of Tunis. Austrian authorities said there was no immediate threat to future Taylor Swift concerts, but caution was needed. An estimated 170,000 people had bought tickets to the singer's shows in Vienna. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on Thursday banned X in the country for 10 days as the social media platform was used to incite violence following the recent presidential election. Venezuela is in unstable situations after the electoral authority proclaimed Maduro the winner of the July 28th presidential election with some 51% of the vote, while the opposition opposed this result. This week, Maduro also urged supporters to abandon Meta-owned WhatsApp in favor of Telegrams or WeChat, saying the messaging app was being used to threaten the families of soldiers and police officers. Millions of tons of plastic waste end up in the world's oceans every year, posing a major environmental problem as it takes decades to degrade. But scientists in Germany have found a glimmer of hope by identifying a fungi that can eat plastic. More to follow.
An analysis at Lake Stechlin in northeastern Germany into how microfungi grow on some plastics with no other carbon source to feed on has demonstrated some of them are capable of degrading synthetic polymers.
The most surprising finding of our work, and which is also different from other studies, is that our fungi could exclusively grow on some of the synthetic polymers and even form biomass. This is exceptional because it clearly demonstrates that these fungi are quite capable in degrading the synthetic polymers.
The researchers believe the microbial plastic destroyers could be used in sewage treatment plants or other facilities with controlled conditions. However, the fungi are unlikely to be a solution for stemming the global flood of waste.
I don't think this would be a final solution because adding more of something into an environment would cause additional problems and may destroy the entire ecosystem.
Data from the Plastics Europe Plastics Producer Association show that some 390 million tons of plastic were produced worldwide in 2021, up from 1.7 million tons in 1950. Although the recycling rate has increased in the last few years, less than 10% of plastic waste is still recycled worldwide.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's it for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download a mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.